And here we are, welcome, the Australian Institute of Motorsport 2014 New South Wales Formula V Championship, round number 1. This is race number 3 at Wakefield Park Raceway, 2 hours down the highway from Sydney.
Okay, starting order is yesterday's finishing order. Thomas, then James Horn, third was Simon Pace, followed by Kinsella. Timmy Brook fell back to fifth.
And the cars are gone, and James Horn, he gets a great run on the outside from second place. There's Simon Pace, he's going to take second place ahead of Dylan Thomas. And all the cars streaming into the first corner and going up the hill. Oh!
Actually, Thomas took an easy start there because he missed second gear yesterday, in the earlier race today with a broken hand.
Actually, yeah. Look, we didn't mention that. Dylan Thomas, the incredibly clever guy that he is, started racing. Here we go, off the line. Here he's going first, second, third, fourth, fifth gears in Formula V. All with a broken right hand. And the other incredible thing is we can actually see all the cars now in race 2.
Which is a great view with the fog this morning.
That's right. So great.
He's on board with, I think this is with Jacob Andrews. Further back in the pack here, there's Lee McGarvey.
One of the rookies with Richard Jefford on his right-hand side, almost wheel to wheel. Look how close this racing is.
There was Daniel Stein up ahead in the new Jacer, and the car that we were trying to work out earlier today was Phil Oakes from Victoria.
His beautiful Sabre. Thanks for coming up all the way and racing in hard nose-to-tail racing with us, Phil.
Okay, so Simon Pace in great second place, right behind Horn with Thomas, Kinsella, Brook.
There are just too many of them. They're streaming through this turn coming back downhill.
There's Lee McGarvey.
Great, we can get a good shot of Lee. Thanks for coming back with us, Lee. Keep racing with us. Now, this is a great view of the...
going to have a look here.
New sharp video cameras are giving us a great pictures. Brody Tilbrook goes down the inside of... that was Morgan Fremantle.
Okay, and down the inside here comes Matty Boat up the inside of Bruce Pearce, followed by Matt Pearce.
That's unusual for Stephen Wood to be in last. He must have had a bad start, I think.
He must have had a bad start because he finished second in 1200. Simon Pace up the inside.
Simon's got the lead. He's got the lead of the race.
Thomas is going to follow. Let's have a look here.
That's right. Simon Pace, James Horn, and Dylan Thomas, who was going down the inside of James Horn.
having a think there.
Okay, the cars streamed through the last corner. 31 cars entered this race meeting and qualified.
34 cars entered this race meeting.
And here we go. There's the leader.
Thomas.
Is Dylan Thomas going to get the slipstream? He's just got that extra.
Yeah, he's got the inside line as well.
0.1 kilometre of an hour extra speed down the main straight, and he's got the lead. Here we go, get another look
This is the
Dylan
benefit
Thomas.
of the tow or Formula V racing. If you know how to use the tow, you get a good tow on any straight.
And Michael Kinsella getting the double, the triple.
Oh, he's looking to go up the inside.
Slipstream. Now there's Tim Brook in the Sky Blue Jacer in 5th place. And Darren Williams, great performance there in 5th place, 6th place. All these cars.
Who's that? That's Phil Oakes.
That was Phil Oakes going wide at the second corner.
It's a bit dirty out on the outside of turn 2 there. You get a couple of wheels out there, it'll drift you into the dirt.
Oh, I've got my breath back. That was, we'll go to the leader. There's Dylan Thomas, James Horn, Simon Pace, Michael Kinsella in 4th.
Darren Williams.
Jeff Bennett. What a great look of Jeff Bennett right on the back of this great front pack of cars.
That's Butcher in the CXC, Stinger at the back of the group just in front of Jeff Bennett.
Right, into the fishhook. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Brody Tilbrook, 8, 9. Jeff Bennett, Phil Oakes, Gary Hook in the Sky Blue Jacer. We saw great performance. Craig Spark in the Black Jacer going through there. He's not far off.
Jacob Andrews had a bit of a late dive there at Richard Jeffries, but didn't get him.
Right, we saw Matt Pearce leading the 1200 cars. Obviously, we saw Andy Goodall there in the Australian Institute of Motorsport. Jace, I'm about to say, there aren't many of them. Super V. He's obviously got problems. He should be way further
Morgo
up.
Having a look.
And a bit of smoke there. Nice clear air through here. We can see all the cars going
Matty
through.
Bode on his teammate Jacob Andrews.
All right, Peter McDonald that we saw. Look
up
at
the
this.
inside of Simon Pace.
Just a single stream of 20 or 30 Formula V slipstreaming down the main straight.
Okay, there's Butcher, Jeff Bennett, Brody Tilbrook.
Brody in the orange car going through the corner there. Phil Oakes.
Morgo.
Gary Hook there in the Sky Blue Jacer.
Gary Hook's had a good comeback after DNF in race 1. He had a couple of races to come through.
I had a chat to him after the race, and it was just an ignition switch problem that stopped him.
Yeah, well, he needs an obligatory 1 DNF per round at least.
Well, we'd like to reduce that by at least 1, so he has none.
Yeah,
Dylan Thomas leading through down the hill, back up to 4th and into the fishhook, down to 3rd gear here, hard on the brakes. Dylan, James Horn. That's Michael Kinsella in 3rd, Simon Pace back to 4th, Tim Brook back to 5th, Brody Tilbrook going through. Great shot of
Daniel Stein up the inside of Bruce Perry.
I think that was Phil Oakes there that we saw. I think, could be wrong.
Okay, there's Alan Harrison and his Richard Bode up the inside of Jacob Andrews. No, didn't pull it off.
Slightly behind Richard Jefford there.
Okay, that was Brody Tilbrook having a look at Jeff
Bennett. Great driving from Jeff, and that's Oakes.
Morgo up the inside
of
Bruce.
No, it's Phil Oakes, I
Phil
think.
Oakes.
Great driving from Hill. He's further up more than he was in the first race meeting.
What's going on there? Cut back.
Richard Jefford, he's picked up his speed from his rookie race this morning.
You see, Matty Bode there actually decided to go back and do the over and under on Jacob Ambrose.
James Horn takes the lead ahead of Dylan Thomas. Another slipstream move. James has actually found extra speed.
Butcher up the inside of Darren Williams.
All these cars
side by side up the hill.
It's hard to keep track of who's passing who through here, but that's another shot of James
he's
Horn.
On board. Dylan go for the over and under, but he won't have the run on the outside.
Car after car after car.
There's a lot of cars in this field.
I'm having trouble just calling out.
Alan Harrison having a little bit of a drift through there. Here you go.
CXC Stinger inside CXC Stinger or
Go
not.
each other racing room, that's what you want to see.
Right, back to another CXC Stinger. Michael Kinsella right on the tail of Dylan Thomas.
Okay, that's actually a Michael Kinsella engine inside the Dylan Thomas Stinger there.
Okay, is that do you know if that's Dylan's number 1 engine or number 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 engine?
I believe it's number 1.
Okay, well you'd expect him to pull out number 1.
Okay, so that's Butcher up the inside of Darren Williams. Wasn't he ahead of Williams before?
He was, but Darren had another go. Darren's right on it here too.
Here you go. Here's Alan Harrison up the inside of Craig Sparks, and here's Matty Bode up the inside of Jacob Andrews.
CXC Stinger and
that's Matty Pearce in the 1200 coming to have a go at those
I don't know how you can tell which CXC Stinger it is from which CXC Stinger.
They've actually got different colour chassis. One's got a green, one's got a blue, one's got an orange, and then a bunch have got black.
How would you know all of that? Oh, you must know something I don't know.
Mate, I watch a lot of racing.
Good, well done. Okay.
Here's Thomas using the slipstream. It's actually quite smart what they're doing here. He's not actually using... The defensive line there is James Horn. Kinsella's gone with him.
Kinsella past James Horn down the inside to second place. Kinsella is right on it in this race meeting. He's obviously found a bit of speed.
It's still early in the race there, so you see what James Horn did was he kept the traditional late racing line instead of going defensive, because if they go defensive, you'll have 30 cars all fighting for the lead. So the leaders are trying to use a bit of smart and get away from the big part of the pack.
Driving through, we saw a flash of Steiny leading a pack.
Sideways, Butcher.
Hanging the tail, Butcher. And there's Steiny, and there's Lee McGarvey, and there's Jeff Bennett. It's hard to keep track. I'm sorry if I get it wrong.
Kinsella's having a look at Thomas here now, so you got a
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and here is 6, 7, 8, 9, all within 4 or 5 seconds of the leader.
Yeah, and then it's not that far back to another massive
10,
group of 1,
11,
2, 3,
12,
4,
13,
5,
14,
6,
15,
16.
16.
There's like 7 or 8 cars just in this group here.
Half
Craig
the field.
Sparks is having a cracking race. Matty Bode having another go at Jacob Andrews there.
Yeah, but they're behind Richard Jefford. Jefford's found speed. It's good to see another rookie just so not far off the leaders, actually less than a third of a lap, I'd say.
My only concern is you've got 2 teammates looking at each other consistently lap after lap at the same corner. Sooner or later he's going to have a dive and it could go all pear-shaped.
Well, no doubt their team managers got no driver's orders, no team orders in this.
Oh, there'll be no team orders, but there might be brown undies.
well, I won't be asking that question, so
okay, there's
no one
Andy
told
Goodall
me.
In the Australian Institute of Motorsport. Darren Williams has gone defensive, but nobody's gone with him.
No one's followed him. That's probably not the right thing to do. He's probably presuming too much, but Kinsella's got the lead. Kinsella, that's great to see this great driver back to the front of motor racing in New South Wales.
You know, the thing about Kinsella is if he's not at the front at the start of the weekend, he'll certainly be at the front by the end of the weekend. He's a great engineer.
And there's Kinsella's he's got the new aerodynamic engine cover, I've noticed there.
Darren Williams did maintain his position in front of Butcher, even though he went to him by himself on the inside.
Right, as the cars street through, there's Gary Hook in the sky blue car, and
Alan Harrison, bit of curb.
Bruce Perry banging up and flying up into the air through that curb as well. I wonder if Kinsella had tuning problems with all that cold, misty, damp air this morning, and he's finally got the right tune.
Kinsella's a very, very bright mechanical engineer, and he does know how to tune a car, so
exactly
he would have got it right.
Well, anyway,
he would have had his air density meter out. He would have been studying his data, and I have no doubt that he would have been saying Bruce Kinsella.
In all this racing that I've seen in race this morning's race 2, and so far in race 3, I don't think I've seen.
The inside, Brody Tilbrook.
Speaking of, I don't think I've seen one driver offline or do anything really silly or show any degree of lack of experience.
I reckon I've seen half the field offline, but it's because they're going for an inside move.
Mate, this is great.
Plenty of passing.
Great driving qualities from every Formula V competitor.
In the earlier race with the fog, I don't know how you saw the line.
Okay, well, you know.
Oh, these guys have made a bit of a gap here to the second group. Who's got a little bit of a gap to... Who's that? That's Daniel Stein.
It's just so many Formula Vs here. It's great driving. We'll see Kinsella. Has Kinsella kept his lead?
No, well, Thomas has got the toe. But you see, again, what they're not doing is they're not fighting. They're now going to work together to pull away from third James Horn, and they're doing that.
Right, this great video camera action that we're watching, and Thomas takes the lead. Mate, they're swapping lead after lead after lead, one to the other, but it looks like Thomas and Kinsella have pulled away slightly from James Horn.
And if you watch on the next lap down the straight, Thomas will probably stay to the left and Kinsella will go back past, and they'll work together to pull a gap on James Horn.
That's very foresightful thinking of you. I wonder how you'd know that. But obviously...
well, it's smart
very
racing and very... thought out in Formula V racing.
Exactly. So there's
only 5 in this lead group here, so they've already pulled away from this next group of Williams. Brody Tilbrook's up there. Daniel Stein and Butcher's dropped back a little bit.
Jeff Bennett, great performance in the top 10 regular driving.
Wasn't Butcher at the lead of that group?
Well, with Steve Butcher, anything could have happened. Craig Spark there, we can see in the flames.
He put enough fuel in. He's run out of fuel on a few occasions.
Well, we'll find out. Let's see if he can make it to the end.
Maybe he's starting to feel some wheel nuts coming loose.
Right, Thomas, he's got Kinsella and Pace and Horn right on his tail. And
Darren Williams and Brody Tilbrook with Jeff Bennett and Butcher, Daniel Stein. There's Morgo, followed by Phil Oates and
Gary Hook.
Gary Hook moved up more places.
Mate, back to 15th and 20th place. There's not much difference.
As I said, Thomas will stay against the wall and Kinsella will have the run.
Right, there he goes. Kinsella takes the lead ahead of Dylan Thomas, as we can
Horn's
see.
coming with them, so it's not working. They're not pulling away.
1, 2, 3, 4 within a fraction of a second, and Tim Brook not far off behind.
Yeah, well, Timmy Brook's actually lost a car length or two. There's Brody Tilbrook up the inside.
Brody's going through the field here. He's getting close to the front. He's probably one of the fastest cars on the track at the moment.
That's right, he very well could be here. And there's the Hookie with Bruce Perry, followed by Craig Sparks.
What a great performance from Craig Spark.
It is. He was one of the fastest of the rookies.
Right,
in qualifying.
Well,
I think he qualified 10th.
And he looks fast, and he looks like he's online, and he looks like an experienced racing car driver.
What a great camera angle that was.
That's right, fast. The angles make the Vs look as fast as they really are through these corners.
The Formula Vs are probably one of the fastest racing cars around a corner.
Into brakes and through the middle of the corner, they absolutely are.
They don't have the power out of the corner, and the Formula Fords and the F3s pull away from them. But through a corner, they're not too shabby.
On this truck, I think they're probably the fastest of all the categories on that truck at Wakefield Park here with all the corners. No doubt about it.
No doubt about it. They're within a couple of seconds of a V8 Ute around Eastern Creek. Aussie race car, a few seconds.
Right onto the main straight again. Last corner here. Kinsella, Thomas,
goes
Horn,
defensive this
Pace,
time. Is
Brook.
it now time to start racing?
With only a few laps to go, I think they're getting serious. There's Brody Tilbrook.
Yep, there you go. Up the distance there. Butcher goes to the inside line. Here comes Morgo, followed by Phil Oates.
There was there. Now there's Gary Hook. He's passing. He's actually made up places. And here we go. Now it's getting serious with the slipstreaming. And Kinsella's forcing Thomas round the outside. Has Thomas got the pace to do it? No, he doesn't.
I was actually thinking for a moment maybe that James Horn was going to tuck into the toe behind Kinsella and watch Thomas out.
Right, but this has allowed Horn just to catch up by another half a car length.
They've lost a car length. They've pulled a car length on Simon
Pace. Yes, he's just moved back a little bit. Timmy Brooks catching Simon Pace. Timmy Brook in only the third race meeting in the brand new Chaser. I believe they had a few little problems with rockers and suspension components that are obviously...
This is the first race meeting with the new Chaser.
Third race with the new Chaser. And I know they've had little stress problems with their suspension components, so they'll get on top of that soon.
Well, they are moving in the right direction, and they've been with this top 5 all weekend.
That's right.
And if this race is quite similar to the last race, it's towards the end of the race, the car starts to lose grip, assumably, and starts to fall away because Timmy Brook's now starting to fall off that front group again.
Yeah, but he hasn't lost that much, so...
Well, it's only just started to, and it's the same thing that happened in race 2 earlier, was he was strong early and he sort of wavered towards the end.
Right, now...
So he's lost about 3 or 4 car lengths.
He has there. That's actually showing a gap, but it looks like Thomas has closed up on Kinsella and Pace has closed up on...
And Darren Williams is actually a little bit further back than where we're used to seeing him. Yeah, Darren Williams is normally fighting for the lead.
I think something happened to him. I think he lost a couple of seconds in one of the laps there, and that's allowed Brody Tilbrook to get right on his tail.
Bruce
Perry down the inside of Gary Hook.
Craig Sparks went waiting anticipation. Kinsella defensive again. Thomas going with him.
Is the slipstreaming going to place 1, 2, 3 nose to tail? Is Horn going to go down the inside of Thomas? No, he doesn't.
Okay, so they're going to have to start racing now. Thomas is going to have to think about where else can I go around Kinsella.
Now, no doubt Kinsella's feeling the pressure from Thomas, and Thomas is feeling the pressure from Horn. We'll see how that transpires in another lap.
And Darren Williams got back past Brody Tilbrook back there as well.
They're racing. They're having fun one. Look at this, nose to tail stuff.
That's pretty close racing there at 145 kilometres an hour or whatever it is.
An example of top-class driving. Simon Pace just fallen back a little bit. Tim Brook fallen back.
Okay,
Simon
Thomas
Pace
not making any intention to pass here.
No, Simon Pace in the red Mako. So 1, 2, 3. Kinsella, Thomas Horn.
Okay, and Darren Williams and Brody Tilbrook have pulled a couple of car lengths from Butcher and Daniel, not Daniel Stein, Jeff Bennett.
They must be having great fun there as they're swapping places, and I bet they're bumping wheels and nose cones and engine covers and exhaust
up
pipes.
The inside goes Craig Sparks on. No, that's Simon Thompson catching back up.
Oh, Simon, there
did he
There
go?
he is. Great assertive driving by
Thomas
Craig
up
Sparks.
The inside here of
Thomas,
Kinsella. Big
lock up from Kinsella in the chaser. Thomas takes the lead into the last corner.
Okay, but is he going to have the run of the straight? Kinsella could do the over and under. Here's the on board.
Here's another
Thomas
angle.
Up the inside. He's going to have to slow him up mid-corner.
Now, I wonder if Kinsella wanted Thomas to go down the inside.
Yeah, I don't know about by the lock-up.
Maybe not. Maybe not.
It too.
Here we are. That was Jeff Bennett or Phil Oakes going through.
Okay.
Bruce Perry, Gary Hook on their own. They're pulling away from Simon Thompson.
On Craig Sparks.
And Craig Sparks.
Okay,
Great
so Thomas
driving.
right on the white line here. Thomas with
Thomas
trying
does
to go
not
wide.
want it.
Horn could go. Oh,
Will Horn?
yes.
Yes, Horn takes Kinsella, mate.
Yep.
This is no compromise. Serious Formula V
and
driving.
Simon Pace to join the back of this group. It's a four-way battle once again.
Mate, we're out of control here, aren't we? Darren Williams, Brody Tilbrook. That's
this group
Butcher.
has joined
Jeff
back together
Bennett
as well.
And Daniel Stein.
Phil Oakes.
Phil Oakes, great driving. He's faster. He's learning his way around this foreign New South Wales track, of course.
Okay, well, he's also debuting that new Sabre 02. I think probably getting a feel for
Daniel
it before.
Stein, that's right.
No, Phil Oakes.
And Phil Oakes.
Yeah.
It's two debuts then.
Daniel Stein actually debuted his at Phillip Island end of last year.
But it's a debut for New South Wales.
Yeah,
for Daniel Stein, a regular New South Wales driver. Great young driver.
Daniel Stein went down to Victoria and debuted his there to test before this round, and Phil Oakes has come up here to debut it up here to test before their round.
That's a bit twisted, don't you think? But that's the way it is. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, going through the last corner.
Okay, so it's Thomas Horn, Kinsella, Pace, followed by a gap to
James
Timmy
Horn
Brook.
and Tim Brook there just in back in fifth. The 1200 cars going through there. Peter McDonald and Stephen Cannon, nose to tail.
The outside of James Horn.
Wood. Okay, first, second and third out right there.
It sounds like he's going to have a try, but I don't like his chances trying to go around the outside up at 3.
Looks like Thomas has made a break. Look at
Brody
this pack of
Tilbrook
cars.
back around the outside, back in the inside, and Butcher wants to go with him.
Butcher's going around the outside of Darren Williams. Now, here we go.
Thomas
Now, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the 1200s.
Okay.
I think that was Pearce and Stephen Wood there in the Spirit, in the yellow and white Spirit, as I said. But the leaders are going to go around the outs.
No, I don't know if Steve Woods knows he's there. Look, he's...
Great camera work here. Oh, look, I'm losing track of who's who there. Let's just wait till things settle up.
Thomas got through, Horn's through, Kinsella's now through. Now, look at that, the experience of Andy Goodall just pulled over. He saw them all coming.
That's
he knew
right.
he's got a vent valve spring. He hasn't got the power.
And Stephen Wood, great driving by Stephen Wood.
So he's on board.
In the second class. Stephen Wood in the yellow and white Spirit on the left. He's allowing Dylan Thomas, the leader, to go around the outside.
Okay, and then...
that's Stephen Cannon.
Andy Goodall had a moment there. The back of the car got really loose.
Stephen Cannon on the left
Thomas
there. That's Stephen Cannon just ahead in the old style Nimbus. That's good driving by
Peter McDonald in front of him.
Peter McDonald.
So Peter McDonald must be leading the... he's second to
Matt Pearce.
But it looks like Michael
1, 2,
Kinsella's
3. Now there's a combination of all the classes going through the last corner.
Kinsella's gone around the outside of James Horn there, but who's going to get the run behind Thomas?
Even the 1200s
Kinsella's got it.
The 1200s are slip retrieving. The 1600 cars. How smart is everyone? Not a problem.
Okay.
With all the mixed classes going
Kinsella's
through.
trying to go around the outside of Thomas here. You won't do it on the outside of 2.
Thomas takes the lead ahead of Mick Kinsella. James Horn closes up in third. Simon Pacer right on in fourth that we just saw.
Now that's going to try have a run up the hill on Darren Williams, but I don't think so.
Brody Tilbrook, he's made up space. Great driving. Okay, Thomas, Kinsella, Horn, Pace. I'm losing breath here. I'm losing track.
Okay, so Kinsella used his experience and racecraft to use the 1200s for his advantage to get past Horn there.
He did. They all slipstreamed off.
Daniel Stein.
The 1600s slipstreamed off the 1200s and vice versa. Bruce Perry. Who's that? That was Simon Thompson and Gary Hook that we saw. Now the leaders. We're running out of laps here. I don't know how this is going to run. I'm just getting so excited here.
Okay, so Thomas gets out of the fishhook a little bit better than Kinsella there, which probably doesn't help Kinsella for the last corner. He might have to look at having a run down the straight.
I'm going to try.
Oh, in the dirt there, Simon Thompson.
I'm going to try and just turn it down a notch here so that I can last this race.
So come in. Last the race. There's only about 2 or 3 laps to go here.
Yeah, I wonder how many. We'll find out in a second. But that's the front pack of 4 and 5 and 6 cars are still on it.
They're second, third, fourth in the 1200s with Peter McDonald, Stephen Cannon and Steve Wood. Following the white line here, Kinsella's gone for the slipstream.
Now, this is defensive. This is serious. Now, who's going to lead going through this first corner? Must be the 2 laps to go.
It's very difficult to try and get the toe and go around the outside. Simon
Pace, mate, talk about smart driving. He's managed to... he fell right back, but he's...
Stevie Cannon got up the inside of Peter McDonald there.
This must be about lap 25, I don't know, and everyone's still racing everyone.
Okay, so Simon Pace has got in front of James Horn, and that gave a car length to the front two.
Is that possible? Can everyone race everyone all at the same time?
Everyone is racing everybody here.
Except
maybe Timmy Brook, who's probably sitting there and waiting for the whole...
Thomas and Kinsella with a slight gas to Pace. Maybe Pace just, when he got around 4th place James Horn, just lost a bit.
And look, Butcher's fallen back again. He was back up to the front two of that group there, and ahead of Jeff Bennett, but he didn't...
Look at all this. Now, everyone's right on racing line. Morgan Fremantle's dropped. But look, it's just hard. We've got to keep going back to the front pack of cars.
Okay, so Thomas, Kinsella, Pace...
And there's Tim Brook going through last in the new F2K14 Jacer. That'll be faster at the next race meeting, no doubt. Okay, now there we are, slipstreaming from the front 2 or 3 cars. This is not the last lap, so there's still more.
There'll be one more lap after this.
More action to happen.
Kinsella's going to go around the outside, but he's got the long way to go. It's going to be difficult to do when he realises.
Thomas keeps the lead. Now there's 1 car length gap. That's a huge gap for these front few cars.
Yeah, and James Horn, who was leading this race earlier, has fallen back.
Now Brookie is our reigning state champion, driving the car that Richard Jefford's driving in this race. So Brookie he'll have his teeth clenched. He'll be wanting to make up every millimetre that he can with only metres left to go in this race. Thomas is leading ahead of Michael Kinsella. There's Thomas in the CXC.
This is the biggest gap we've seen on the front 4 all race.
That's right. So how can anyone make up the gap to Dylan Thomas here?
Well, it's not much of a gap, is it?
Well, can Michael Kinsella, the leaders, go through the fishhook there? And there's back to Tim Brook there in the sky blue.
Darren Williams has got back on Brodie Tilbrook.
Oh, and Darren Williams is making up gap to the leaders. I reckon these must be some of the fastest cars.
Here we
go. Now this could be
James Horn back on Simon Pace.
And Horn takes pace, mate. These guys are just not giving up. None of them are giving up.
Thomas goes to the defensive line up there. There's Timmy Brook coming through. Darren Williams, Brodie Tilbrook, Butcher, Jeff Bennett, Daniel Stein. There's Stevie Cannon. I think that was Phil Oakes going through there.
I managed to shut up for a second. Let me take over. Last lap. Now, it's going to be between these 2 cars side by side. Dylan Thomas. And someone touched someone, and there's a chop in the corner, up in the air, left, right. Who's going on? Dylan Thomas. He's gone wide.
Horn and Pace have gone through.
Now the new leaders are 3rd and 4th, not 1st and 2nd. Oh, look, there was a touch there. I've got to get my thoughts together to see what happened there. Obviously, Michael Kinsella wanted to close the gap, but did he go too far? Or Dylan Thomas give him room? I hope it was just a racing incident.
Okay, but so James Horn is leading the race. He could be taking his first state race win here.
James Horn in the sky blue Polar ahead of Simon Pace there that we just
went through. And they've got a massive gap. Thomas has recovered for 3rd. That's Timmy Brook now up to 4th. And then it's going to be a decent gap back to Michael Kinsella, who has gained back to 5th, right in front of Brodie Tilbrook, who could have a go.
Now, that was drama. Now, I've got to get my thoughts together now with only metres left to go in this race. Now, I know James Horn is 1st and Simon Pace is 2nd, but who was 3rd? I missed that.
Okay, so 3rd, Thomas has got back on for 3rd, and here's the inside move on Phil Oakes.
You mean with all that tail wagging and understeering and dirt, he managed to keep
James Horn coming for his first ever win in a New South Wales State Championship.
We'll get a better look in a second.
Is he going to get a run on him from Simon Pace?
Let's get a better look. Too many cars going through, and
Pace has come out. Let's have a look.
Here we go.
So
James Horn on the inside.
He's got it. Simon's not going to get the run from there. James Horn's got the fist pumping.
He's excited and his fist is pumping. There goes Lee McGarvey.
Thomas 3rd.
Dylan Thomas in 3rd and Tim Brook in 4th.
5th Kinsella. 6th is Brodie Tilbrook.
Darren Williams.
Butcher.
And that was Daniel Stein, yes.
No, it wasn't Daniel Stein. No, it was Jeff Bennett. Here's Daniel Stein.
There's Daniel Stein. Great driving by Jeff. And Phil Oakes.
Morgan Fremantle's.
Look, I'm losing wheels and track here.
Here's the second place in the 1200s is Stevie Cannon, followed by Peter McDonald and Stevie Wood. Then back to Simon Thompson.
That was Bruce Perry in the white Aztec.
Just behind Gary Hook, followed by Craig Sparks.
Right, James Horn winner, Simon Pace, Dylan Thomas, Tim Brook, Michael Kinsella, Brody Tilbrook made it up there. Darren, just great driving. Butcher.
James Horn winner, come in spinner. How appropriate that one is. In the 1200, Simon Matty Pearce, followed by Stephen Cannon, Peter McDonald, Stevie Wood.
Oh, let's get our breath now. Oh,
go back and